You're listening to Finding Home, Book 2 of the Mylin Valley series by Angela E. Powell. Narrated by Angela E. Powell. Dedication. To my mom, the first person to encourage my writing habit and my lifelong cheerleader. Chapter 1. Why did she do it? Philip peered up at the building looming in front of him. In the early dawn, it cast a shadow over the whole parking lot. The rental car purred softly as it idled, and he gripped the steering wheel so tightly the vinyl squeaked, bringing his thoughts back to the present. He didn't want to be here. Turning the key to the off position and removing it, he climbed out of the little silver Corolla. As he headed toward the hospital entrance, he clicked the lock button twice, then stuffed the keys and his hands into his pockets. The car beeped, and he glanced behind him to make a mental note of the location. He paused before reaching the automatic sliding doors and took a deep breath. Why did she do it? He'd been asking himself that question ever since Uncle Richard called yesterday afternoon and told him his mom was in the hospital and he needed to come immediately. He had packed and headed to the airport last evening, hoping to catch a standby flight, but the first seat available was at 5 this morning. And although Richard had assured him Mom was stable, he'd been unable to quiet his thoughts during his 90 minutes in the air out of cell range. Convinced that once he landed, there would be a message letting him know she had passed. Then he would have to wonder forever why she'd decided to kill herself. Inside the hospital, he checked his messages for the floor he needed and entered the elevator. He punched the button for the psych ward floor, then stepped back, leaned against the wall, and closed his eyes. Why? Why? The elevator dinged, and he opened his eyes. The doors slid open, and he stepped out. A telephone rang nearby and continued unanswered. He scanned the hall in each direction, looking in vain for a sign, and finally headed to a nurse's station to his right. "Can I help you?" asked the matronly woman behind the desk. Yes, they admitted my mother yesterday, Andrea Hawkins. I'm here to see her." "Do you have the code?" "Code? Oh, yes." He went through the messages from his uncle again. 11449. The woman nodded and stood up. "You'll need to put any personal items in a locker." She pointed to a bank of small lockers on the wall behind him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?